Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirkley's Guitar School. Today we're going to have a look at House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. This was requested by one of our members of the Facebook group. This is the chords that we're going to work with today. We've got A minor, C, D, F major. That's a funny looking F major. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'll give you some options if that looks a little bit frightening. E7, and I'm pretty sure we've got a G in there somewhere as well. I'll keep referring to a free tab that you can download from the first link in the description. That takes you to our private Facebook group. Join the group, navigate to the tab, the files tab, and you can download it there for free. I don't want anything from you, okay? That's also the best place to catch me if you've got any questions about this song. Now, the approach that I've taken with this song is if I was either A, jamming along to the record, or B, playing this in a band, I'm going to give you two options that you can play both parts and when to play them in the song. Right, let's get into it. So, we're going to start with an A minor, and I want you to hold, rather than picking each note one at a time, I want you to just hold that A minor chord and pick through the A, the D, the G and the B strings with downstrokes, and then the high E, the B and the G with upstrokes like this. Now what you'll notice is that A is a quaver. The two twos on the D and the G are what we call semiquavers. So you're going to pick those two notes twice as fast as all the other ones. So you've got a long one, two short ones, and another long one, and we're then going to do upstrokes, and they're all going to be long ones. Really important that we're using the tips of his fingers over here on the fretting hand to make sure we're not getting any dead notes, okay? So drop the wrist, push it out, and try and use the tips of your fingers as best you can. Pause the video if you need to. If not, we're going to add a couple more chords to that. So, House of the Rising Sun is a cycle of the same chord progression round and round and round, and where you are in the song dictates which part you're going to play, which we're going to talk about them all today, okay? Now, anytime you're playing an open chord that uses 5 strings, like an A minor or a C, you're going to play that same pattern. So for that A minor that we've just done, we're then going to take the ring finger up to the 3rd fret of the A string, and we're going to pick the same strings again for that C chord. Can you see how we've gone from A minor to C? I think it's also worth noting that we're in 6/8 time as well, and what that means is we're counting to 6 rather than counting to 4. And when we get into the strumming, that's the better place to talk about the time signature. But I think it's worth noting here we are in 6/8 time. If you try to play it like it's in 4/4, it'll sound really jagged and weird. A minor, C. Then when we get to the D chord, the D chord's a 4-string chord, isn't it? If we go back to this slide over here, can you see how we don't play the low E and the A strings? So we're here now, over here. I'm going to pick with downstrokes the D, the G, the B and the high E strings all going down. But that G and that B string, I am still picking those a little bit faster than the others. You see how the rhythm is the same throughout. Now what's different about the 4-string chords compared to all of the others that we're going to look at, you actually pick this high E string twice. You pick it once on the way down and you pick it once on the way back up. Try that for me. You notice my plectrum. I'm doing 4 downstrokes followed by 3 upstrokes. As we can move on to the F chord, it's the same picking pattern with this hand. Now, how they're playing this on the record, they're not doing the full fat bar chord, and I'm referring to them playing it. Before this lesson, I watched a couple of live clips just to make sure that what the guitarist for the Animals is doing is what I'm telling you to do, okay? Now, how I can see him playing this is he's using his ring finger on the D string, 3rd fret, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G, and then he's barring, doing a little bar between the 1st frets of both D and high E strings. And again, we're picking that high E twice, just as we did previously with the D chord. Now, if that bar, you're really struggling with that bar, you could use F major 7 instead. I know we use that a lot on the lessons on the channel. Or if you want to do the full fat F chord, entirely up to you. If you want super duper authentic, that's how he's doing it. Let me play all 4 bars for you. Pause if you need to, otherwise we're going to have a look at the second half of this. This is all the intro, by the way. We're then going to go A minor, same pattern, just as we started with in the very first slide. I'm then going to play E7. Now E7 is the only chord that's a 6-string chord. Now I'm going to essentially, what I've done for the 5-string chord, for the A minor, I'm going to move everything up a string. So I'm fretting my E7. I'm going to pick the low E, the A, the D and the G with downstrokes, and then I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and do high E, B and G with upstrokes. And for the remainder of the progression, that's all we're going to do. That is both of those slides jammed together. Feel free to pause the video and try that. I'll play it for you in a second, but I want to sort of put a bit of a caveat out there of sometimes you'll hear me play something and I might miss the odd string and I don't sort of acknowledge it. It's the scruffy kind of nature of it is part of the style. If you play this too clinically, it's going to sound a little bit too clinical. Occasionally I might hit the wrong string, but because I'm holding a chord, they're all relevant notes and they're all nice sounding notes. And I bet if you broke down the original recording, there'd be the occasional kind of string gone awry one way or another, but the rhythm stays the same and it's more just picking through the chords. And occasionally if you catch the wrong one, like, don't lose any sleep over it. It's completely cool. We all do it. It's how you react to those things that sort of lets anybody know whether you've made a mistake or not. Let me play this for you. Now from that point, there is a house in New Orleans, is where I'll start singing. Now, from this point in the lesson, we're going to talk about the strumming for the song. Now, you have got the option to either pick the whole song or strum the whole song. I'm just using the verse as an opportunity to share that with you. This is what we're going for. That's the whole figure. It repeats between those repeat markers 8 times before it goes to the ending. So as soon as he starts singing, we're going to go in between these repeat markers, between bar 9 with the A minor chord, and I'm guessing probably bar 28, 29, something like that. Where the repeat marker is and it says times 8. You're going to play between those 2 repeat markers 8 times. Now, it's completely at your discretion as a guitarist which ones of those you're going to strum and which of them you're going to pick. Personally, whenever he's singing, I'm going to pick it. And whenever the organ solo comes in or it's more of an instrumental section, I'll opt to strum it. But I want to give you both options. Balls in your court, guys with that, whatever you want to do. So let's talk about that strumming pattern then. So we're going to use the same strumming pattern that we was picking, but we're going to use it as a strumming pattern instead. Because rhythms are universal, it's just what you decide to do with it. So let me show you how to strum this. Now, we're going for this. Again, we're in 6/8, so we're counting in 6s. I'm going to go down, down, up, down to start with, and that takes you up to this point here. Try that with an A minor for me. Do that a few times. Down, down, up, down. down, down, up, down. To round that off, we're going to go all the way over here, down, 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 to finish it off. So you've got down, down, up, down, 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 down. Now, I've got the D's for downs underneath at the bottom and U's for ups at the bottom of the underneath the sheet music. Or you've got those funny looking staple things which indicate a downstroke, and the V indicates the upstroke. So you see how with 2 downs, then an up, and then with 4 downs, one after another, one of which is connected to the first phrase. Pause the video and have a go at that a few times for me. Now that is 1 bar, right? And it's a chord per bar for the song. So you want to be thinking dum bum 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 bum, and you're going to follow this progression, not that one, this one. So when I'm writing these charts out, I've got the rhythm, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put however many crotchets there are in the bar as just a placeholder to save this getting really... The reason I do this is because if you're sight reading it and you take your eye off the page, if every bar looks like this one, you're gonna take your eye off it for a split second and then come back to it and you're gonna be completely lost. In my shorthand, kind of cack-handed way of doing things, those 3 lines, those 3 sort of slashes mean we're just gonna continue this rhythm. Okay, so we've still got the da 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 da, but we're going to change chord as we go along like this. C, D, F, A, C, and it goes on and on and on and on. That's the full thing. We're going to keep that rhythm going throughout all of these chords. And I'm hoping that you can hear there is a house, etc. Now, go back and rewind. Use the chapters function, it's what they're there for, and try all of that. It's just the same rhythm, round and round and round. And again, if you've forgotten what the pattern is, go back to the chapters on the bottom where I explain it and go through it. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to play that 8 times, and you can opt to either pick all of that or strum it. The ball is really in your court. Like I said, personally, I like to pick the parts where he's singing and strum the parts where the organ solo is. And then after the 8 times of going round that, you'll go into what I'm calling, you'll go into the ending, which is basically it goes between an A minor with the same pattern, D, A, D. Notice there's a repeat marker all the way over here, so we're still A, back to the repeat marker, D, A, D. Now can you see how it says RAL all the way over here? Now that's, I can't remember the Italian term for it, is it rallentando? It basically means that the piece is going to come to a slow and gradual stop, okay? So as you get through those 8 bars, sort of about bar 6 or 7, you want to start, you'll feel the band starting to sort of pull the timing back a little bit, and I want you to sort of try and keep that pace and come to, imagine a train pulling into the station. It slows down on approach, doesn't it? And it's kind of that vibe I want you to go for as well. Now, let me know how you got on in the comments with that. Like I said, somebody in our Facebook group requested that. If you'd like to get the tabs, first link in the description, and head over to the files tab. It's really easy to find. If you've got a request for something that you'd like me to have a look at, let me know in the comments. If you like the video and you'd like to see some more of this, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a like, it really helps me out. I'll see you next week for another electric guitar lesson. Thank you so much.